from all, to all, with all, for all, through all. We thank the gods of creation. We thank the ancestors. We thank the forces of nature. And we thank the earth. We thank them for their direction, their protection, their guidance, for keeping us, showing us, allowing us to know and enjoy life to its fullest, now and later.
Black people who once loved with the slow march of time. Time was ours to hold in the soft, love-warm chambers of our hearts. And was we, the Afro mommies and daddies of a sun world, would turn our strands of hair into antennas to tune in the juju madness and syncopated love rhythms of Africa. And we loved with time, and we took the time to love, and with the right time we loved, and we loved time after time. Will we ever love again? Will we ever love again? Will we really ever love again? Or will we just sit and rot away with the brighter tomorrows in the skag field, rat-cluttered halls of our minds?
Black people, what y'all gonna do? Black people, what y'all gonna do?
Will the real black people please stand up?
Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Listen to me now, yo, before Dr. Dre, there was Dr. James, welding cords around a copper frame. We sing songs not for the accolades, to lift voices like a helicopter blade. High in the listening skies, my eyes glisten and tears drop down like rain. Not from the pain, from the joy of how far we came. My brainstorms are designed to celebrate our reign. Yeah, when you put it in perspective, the collective, monuments erected, continents affected, presidents elected, ancestors making moves with the music we've been blessed with. We use it to keep communities connected. Through harmonies, a harmony is collected. Reaping the fruits our foremothers invested. Lift every voice till freedom has manifested. Come on, yeah, lift every voice till freedom has manifested. Come on, listen, lift every voice till freedom has manifested. Come on. Sing a song, yeah, full of the faith that the dark past
has taught us.
Come on.
Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun
Facing the rising sun. Come on.
of our new day begun.
It's a new day.
Let us march on
Yeah.
till victory is
Yeah,
won.
until victory is won. Come on.
Till victory is
This is
won.
victory music. Come on, I hope you feel it. Yeah. Come on.
Good evening, our story viewing family. Once again, we're very glad to have you joining us this evening. And this is Brother Johnny coming to you once again, sitting in for your host, W.C. Johnson, who is out promoting that wonderful book of his. Tonight, I'm very honored tonight to have a guest with us, someone who is very outspoken and active in the community. I consider him almost to be the spiritual son of Marcus Garvey. We have with us tonight political activist, Brother Anthony Brown, the host of The Proven Truth.
Man. Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate
we
you.
appreciate having
Man,
you here.
it's always a pleasure being here, man. Spending some time with you guys, man. You know what I mean? Going over what some of the burning issues that's
Right.
the topic of the day. You know what I mean? Yeah, as you know, man, we are basically right now in midterm election. You know what I mean? This is a time when we kind of encourage people to, if you are not already registered to vote, go out and get yourself registered to vote, because that's the only way you, as one of the electorate, can actually let your voice be heard. You know, we encourage that, and we are 2 weeks, 15 days out from that date, November the 6th. So man, it's fire out there, man. It's burning out there.
Make sure you give that date out again. When November 6th?
Yeah, November 6th. It's midterm election. Here in Louisiana, it's really low key. All over the country, in places like Texas, Florida, Georgia, it's full blown media coverage when it comes to what's on the ballot, when it comes to the Senate race, when it comes to the gubernatorial race. But here in Louisiana, my brother, you know what I mean, it's really low key. No.
They don't want to say it. They really don't even consider us part of the country.
Man,
that. It's not even part of the country.
It's a couple of things, but what we find out in our activist movement, what we find out when we talk to grassroots people and everyday people, and knowing that they try to keep the lower key it is here, it's the better it is for the incumbents, right? The better it is for the incumbents. And worse when it comes to actually what's on the ballot with these amendments, it's better for these political cronies. Because these political cronies can basically hide behind these amendments, or basically put these amendments on the ballot without speaking about them. So the more low key this midterm election is the better for the incumbent and for the GOP right now. You see what I'm saying? So, but we are here to inform the people about what's actually on the ballot as it relates to the Louisiana constitutional amendments, these propositions. There is 6 constitutional amendment that's actually on the ballot.
Okay.
We were informed from by people who actually went out and voted early that there is another amendment that's on the ballot.
Okay.
That we aren't sure about. Okay. And when we check the Secretary of State website, it's not there neither. So as it is right now, we're still sticking to these 6 amendments that is officially on the website and that we been promoting to the people of Louisiana.
Okay. All right. Can you give people perhaps a little introduction and kind of just sort of summarize exactly what you say the 6 amendments? You know.
Okay, well, look, there's 6 amendments there, and I consider the first 3 amendments common sense amendments or common sense proposition, right?
Okay.
And we're gonna briefly run through those because what we want to spend most of this time on is on the proposition number 6.
Okay.
Because proposition number 6 is that proposition that affects every single man, woman, and child here in the territory of Louisiana. It doesn't matter your political affiliation or your religious affiliation, it affects you. And if it don't affect you directly right now, it will affect you sometime down the road.
Okay.
Okay. So let's briefly run through the first 3 or the first 4. Proposition, and a matter of fact, let's do this. We're going to actually, even though we're going to do a synopsis of it.
Yeah, because if you can, please leave that up. So, yeah, if they can, if we can put the ballot up again, yes.
Yeah.
So we can kind of, go through that then.
Okay, as it is, as what your audience are looking at right now, that's what we have been promoting out there, and we have been giving the people of Louisiana to actually look at and telling them how we are choosing to vote. Now, the ballot measure, as it is written, the text that's on the ballot for proposition number 1, this is how it is actually written.
Okay.
Do you support an amendment to prohibit a convicted felon from seeking or holding public office or appointment within 5 years of completion of his sentence unless he is pardoned? Now, what that is said in a nutshell. Here it is. You have somebody who commit a crime, right? A felony, and he has been charged with that felony and convicted. And he served his time, then come back out into the society. And then right as he come back out, he or she wants to run for public office. We are saying, no, keep your butt quiet, wait at least 5 years before you can actually come back and deal with the people's affair. You see? So again, I think that's common sense. You know, that's
well, yeah, but I mean, the first thing people are going to come to mind, I think, is Edwin Edwards when he ran, and individuals were saying, okay, now someone coming out, you have this felony, you understand? But you mentioned something important when you spoke about the pardon, because I think that needs to be put in there. Because I noticed with these amendments, or whenever the legislature will draft something, they always put some type of loophole in there. So you're saying, in the case that if you pardon now,
no, if you pardon, it's like you start to clean afresh. Okay. So that pardon aspect of it is like you never actually commit a crime, or there wasn't a charge against you.
Gotcha.
Okay. So let's say you commit, you serve your time, right? You in the territory of Louisiana, only the governor can pardon you, right? So once the governor pardon you, even though you actually did serve the time, your slate is clean. Okay. So at that point, this amendment wouldn't actually affect you. So you can go and you can actually run for public office without no time restriction. Okay. That's how the pardon come in. But away from being pardoned, we are saying we vote yes on proposition number 1 because 1 is common sense, and 2, we are saying that if you're a convict felon, right? More so if you was before you become a convict felon, you was actually a politician. You know what I mean? The truth about it, they say 5 years. I would champion the cause of 10 or 15 years, but we keep the 5 years for right now. Common sense, you're a convict felon, you wait 5 years before you can actually run for public office or be appointed to public office to deal with the public affairs again, okay? And that's proposition number 1. And to that one, we recommend a yes vote for that, for proposition number 1.
So yes, vote yes that we want individuals to
wait 5 years. So you're voting yes because you say we want you to wait 5 years before you can actually run for public office or be appointed for public office once you commit a felony. Right? Once you commit a felony. Okay. Proposition number 2. This is the actual text that's on the ballot. Do you support an amendment to require an unanimous jury verdict in all non-capital felony cases for offenders that are committed on or after July 1st, 2019? Again, another common sense proposition. The territory of Louisiana is one of this
Of the few.
well, one of two
Yeah.
who actually convicts without a unanimous jury. Okay? And what does that mean? That means if you are charged with a crime, a felony, and you choose your God-given right to have a jury trial, you can have 9 or 10 out of that jury convict you. Okay? And based on the rule of law, based on our system of governance, in and of itself, that void the you being convicted. It must be with you. If 12 people cannot agree that you are guilty, that means the prosecutor didn't present his case, okay, or didn't prove his case without a shadow of a doubt. That means, so here you have 2 people or 3 people say, something ain't right here. Okay? That means there's still a shadow of a doubt in the jury's mind. And in that sense, we are saying, okay, if there's still a shadow of doubt in the jury's mind, you must acquit. Okay? And again, I think that's common sense. 48 other territories have this on the books as law. We think that we are why should we be different from any other territory?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that should be a problem. I think most individuals, in my opinion, should be on board with that.
Right.
That's one of the reasons why Louisiana,
the most incarcerated territory here.
Right.
Yeah? Even though at this point, for the pundits out there, they will say, well, okay, John Bell Edwards been releasing people left, right, and say, yeah, we agree with that. But it still stands to fact. These people were convicted, right? And come to find out that a lot of these people that have been convicted through DNA testing and other first-hand evidence, a lot of these people were innocent of the charge, right? And a lot of these people, not only that, but a lot of these people was convicted without a unanimous jury. So we are saying, to proposition number 2, we are saying, yes, we need a unanimous jury. All members, the 12 jury, must be in the same frame of mind, must say yes to convicting this person. And again, we ain't going to spend much time with that. We think that's common sense. That's a common sense proposition, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Let's look on amendment number 3. Amendment number 3, well, this let me show you real quick. This is how they appear as a subject matter and the ballot as well. Amendment number 1, they got it as elections. Amendment number 2, trials. Amendment number 2, the subject matter, local government. So let's deal with amendment number 3, local government, real quick. Now, again, to us, amendment number 3, we are saying is a common sense proposition. We are saying yes to that. And let's read the actual ballot measure so your listening, your viewing audience can know what's on the ballot. And look, for those of you on the screen right now, it's a copy of what we have in front of us, and there's information there to which if you, the viewing audience need a copy or need to know where they can get it, the information on the screen to which they can contact us, and we will furnish them with a copy. This is what the measure number 3 says. Do you support an amendment to permit, pursuant to written agreement, the donations of the use of public equipment and personnel by political subdivision upon request to another political subdivision for any activity or function which the requesting political subdivision is authorized to exercise? And that's a mouthful. What it is actually saying. Let's say for some reason or the other, right? The political subdivision, the body politics, the city of New Orleans, let's use Katrina, right? Let's say during Katrina, we find ourselves short of manpower, right? First responders, we find ourselves short of equipment, right? We could go, which it's actually they are actually doing it right now. It's against the law, and that's why this is on the ballot.
Okay.
You could go to Baton Rouge and you could say, man, look, we need to send us 50 first responder, and we need to borrow maybe some heavy equipment, right? And then Baton Rouge, you know what I mean, would say, okay, and send the responder to New Orleans, send those equipment to New Orleans. Now, in and of itself, we're talking about that's humane, you know what I mean? You wouldn't think that nothing is actually wrong with that, you know what I mean? But this is where your that gray line come in. Each political subdivision, in Louisiana, we got 64 parishes. Each individual parish, right, our local government, was instituted, right, or have the authority to take care of its own. So New Orleans must utilize its resources, its personnel, for the purpose and benefit of New Orleans, not for Baton Rouge, Kenner, Media, or no other political subdivision, okay? So this is what we're saying right here. In a case where they need to exchange personnel or equipment for the benefit of the people, you can go ahead and do it through a written agreement, okay? And then we will sanction that. We'll approve that. So when Baton Rouge take its resources, its personnel, its equipment, all into New Orleans, the people of Baton Rouge can say to its politicians, look, why are you utilizing our resources in New Orleans? And then they can say, oh, well, look, they can show them the books. They can open the books and say, this is what happened. New Orleans was in a dire crisis. They needed our assistance, our help. Here's a written agreement. You see what I'm saying? So we are saying to proposition number 3, yes to that.
Well, let me ask you this then. So if we look at what's going on now, so that the audience can be clear on this, right now they can do that, and they don't have to get any type of agreement.
Right.
They don't have to get the permission
Right.
of the people
Right.
or of the citizenry.
Right.
And they don't have to open the books.
Right, and it's actually illegal. There's no authority for them to do that.
Okay.
They are actually overstepping their jurisdiction. And not only that, you see, look, one of the key things you have to recognize is the people who we have, and that's why I refer to them as politicians. And must show the proven truth I outline to people, or my audience know when I talk about politicians, what I'm talking about. We're talking about people who really don't care about the will of the people, people who come to you every 2, 4, 6, and 10 years respectively and tell you what you want to hear and what they think you want to hear. They speak to you politically correct just so you can put them into public office, right? That's what we're talking about here. That's what we have in Louisiana. So what happened when you recognize that we have politicians here, not trustworthy people, not people with decent morals, you know what I mean? We want to ensure that when they say, look, we send 15 or 20 person to parish A, B, C, or D, we have documentation to prove that, okay, that's what you actually do. And you didn't send it to your cousin in New Orleans or into Slidell or wherever. You see what I'm saying? It was for the will and the betterment of the people. Okay, so to amendment number 3, we say yes. Okay? Amendment number 4. This is where it starts to get really grieving. Amendment number 4 have to deal with taxes, and the subject matter and the subject matter, the way all this and it's on the ballot is have to do with the taxes. This is the first one that have to do with taxes on the ballot. And again, we're going to run through this real quick. This is the actual ballot measure that's on the ballot, and it reads like this: do you support an amendment to remove authority to appropriate or dedicate monies in the Transportation Trust Fund to state police for traffic control purpose, full stop. Now, again, number 4, you know, it could be a common sense proposition, or it should be a common sense proposition. To this one, we vote yes as well. And let me give you a brief synopsis of this. We, the people, authorize government or give them a revenue stream, okay? So here it is, we give Department of Motor Vehicles, or no, the Department of Transportation, right? The administrative branch which it falls on the administrative branch. We give them a revenue stream. They create this fund. So that revenue stream come and go inside that fund. the resources are the money from that fund supposed to fix our bridges, our streets, our, everything that have to do with transportation, okay? And when we talk about transportation, my brother, we're talking about air, land, and sea, okay? Now, here it is, they are dedicating our monies from the transportation fund, right, to the state police, okay? And we are saying that, no, we don't want that no more. The state police actually already have a revenue stream, a revenue source. As a matter of fact, they have several. If you hear about the LACE program, that's one program that, man, look, the last time I heard there was so much indictment from the state police. You had state police who come and sign contract with these political subdivision, right, and writing ticket while they're at their home watching TV, putting in these fictitious timetable, timesheet. Away from that, they already have a funding source. So there's no way or there's no reason for us to take money, right, from the transportation fund to the state police. Not only that, the key thing about this, when it comes to taxes, my brother, every single tax dollar, or when we the people get taxed, it must be for a specific and direct purpose. So if they're going to tax you, they're going to say, okay, this tax is to fix the road, and the road only. They cannot use that money to go and buy a building, go and pay a public official. You see what I'm saying? So we need for this to stop, and that's why we are saying to amendment number 4, we vote yes. We want you to stop take monies from the transportation fund and give to the state police. They have their own source of revenue already.
Well, what I can see, too, that's problematic for individuals. You said something very important. The state police already have various revenue streams.
Right.
And various other funds that they pull from
Right.
to pay for the state police.
Right.
But also, the infrastructure here with roads and bridges are in serious and dire
Need of
conditions
repair.
and needs of repair.
Right.
So,
right.
the state needs to be doing everything they can
Right,
to
right.
make sure they keep monies for repairing
Right.
these roads and bridges. But I think what's confusing is that the way it was written and the way that they often put it in practice is when they say transportation, people think then that means you can include the state police, since they often are the individuals who police
Right.
these roads or these highways and interstate systems.
And that's a key component. You see, you have to bear in mind the authors of these proposition too. These are people, these are members of the Bar Association, these are politicians. When they draft certain document, more so when they draft it to their benefit and their liking, not with the true purpose and intent, thinking about the will of the people. Okay? Now, this is it. The state police, as you say already, have their own revenue source, okay? And it's about accountability and mismanagement as well. If you're supposed to be using this fund for one purpose and one purpose only, then you start to double dip in that fund, right? That's where you have greed and corruption and cronyism come in, and bribery and all those things come in. And we want to start that. We are tired of this corruption, the political cronyism, and the mismanagement. Well, that's their words. Mismanagement. We are tired of the criminal conduct with our money. This money, right, is our money. We the people money. This money belongs to the people of Louisiana, right? And we need to hold our elected officials accountable for it, and they're supposed to can tell us about every expenditure of these money, right? So we give you this money for transportation. We want to see receipts. We want to see the book, and everything must go towards transportation. That's number 4. And to number 4, again, we vote yes on that one. Okay? And the yes is to stop taking deduction from the transportation fund to the state police. Okay. Amendment number 5, the subject on that one is property. Now, let's read the actual ballot measure, and then we're going to it. This is out up here on the ballot. Do you support an amendment to extend eligibility for the following special property tax treatment to property in trust the special assessment level for property tax valuation, the property tax exemption for property and of a disabled veterans, and the property tax exemption for the surviving spouse of the person who died while performing their duty as the first responder, active duty member, or the military, or law enforcement or fire protection officer. Now, again, that's a mouthful. Now, in a nutshell, let me tell you, I've been getting several calls about these ballot amendments. And with proposition number 4, any way you slice or you dice it, any school of thought you put on proposition number 4, it's a no vote. One school of thought, my brother, is as a active military person, right, or a first responder, you have a piece of property, and while you're alive or while you're active duty, that piece of property have a special tax exemption on it, okay? And now you're deceased, or now you're not active duty no more, right? And they want to tax your offspring, your kids, or your wife, your spouse, right? Now, bear this in mind. During the time that you was alive, you was providing for your family. You was a breadwinner, maybe the breadwinner for the family, okay? And here it is now, you're out of the picture, right? And they want to now put a financial burden, a financial stress, a tax onto your family. So when you was alive, it was okay. But now you're good, now you're deceased or you're not active. They don't care about your family no more because you're not around. You see what I'm talking about? This is what I tell people on a day-to-day basis. From a default stance, when it comes to taxes and the ballot, from a default position, it's a no vote, period. If it was good for we the people, the powers that be would be out there promulgating this over the airways, over mainstream media, it will be bombarded on your TV. They are not. Here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana, this guy, this clown, this politician, Errol G. Williams, is quiet. He's quiet. And when he do go out there, he misinform people about what's on the ballot. No other political authority out there is talking about this. It is so quiet right now, and that's what I said in the opening. It is so quiet, and they love it when it is quiet, because nobody will be talking about these propositions. So that's one school of thought. The second thing is, here it is, again, we're speaking about proposition number 5. The second school of thought is, you have this property, right? And you serve your country, my brother. You know, you serve your country to the point where you actually lose your life. You know, you serve your country to the point where you can't serve your country no more. You are disabled, right? You have this tax exemption on your property. You deceased or whatever. And the property end up in trust, right? So somebody is litigating the property, right? Maybe a long lost brother, or maybe the wife or the kids. So this property is up here in limbo. They want to tax or impose a tax on that property while it's in trust. Who's going to pay that property tax? Your offspring. It's right here. The surviving spouse. Why should your surviving spouse or your kids or anybody pay any type of tax on that piece of property? While you was alive, it had a special assessment on it. You see what I'm saying? Because of your service to your country, because of your service to your fellow men. Any way you look on proposition number 5, it's a no. It's a tax being imposed on people individually. This is the United States of America. And in the United States of America, we have laws that we must follow. Okay? There is 2 types of tax we have in America. 1 is an indirect tax, and 2, a direct tax. The direct tax cannot be imposed on an individual. It's against the law. It's unconstitutional, right? We are saying no to proposition number 5. We are saying you cannot, or it's not wise, it's not fair, it's not just, right, for you to be taxing a veteran or a deceased veteran or a first responder, wife, family, or nobody, and the property that they had while they was in active duty or while they was alive.
Now, let me ask you this then. When you say first responders, veterans, the property is in trust because we may have a situation where someone in law enforcement may have been injured in the line of duty or perhaps died in the line of duty. Or as you mentioned, we have situations with people who are in the military, active duty, or those who may even be, this is what I want to be clear on, and that would include those who may be in the reserves as well.
Yeah.
If someone is injured or if someone perhaps has dies in service.
Right.
But
Again,
what they're saying is once this property goes in trust, whatever particular things that may have been in place to assist an individual, now they're going to take those things away and say we're going to now tax this property.
Right.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And to that we are saying no. To that we are saying hell no. You know, why should you know, here's this family, right? No, they lost their breadwinner, right? They're going through mourning. Whatever the situation is, but that loved one ain't with them anymore, right? Or that loved one cannot provide. Again, the language is tax exempt for the surviving spouse of a person who died while performing their duties. So you're going to really tax somebody, a surviving spouse of somebody who died, tax, or a first responder, you know, firefighters, ambulance people, active duty members of the military. So it doesn't matter, reserve or whatever. See what I'm saying? Or law enforcement, or fire protection officer. You see what I'm saying?
Right. That's what I wanted to get us some clarity on that in regards to that. You know, because what exactly we're dealing with, so individuals will know.
Right.
You know, so essentially what you're saying is just anyone.
Anyone, man. Anyone. You call first responder,
law enforcement.
Right.
Yeah,
You know,
once that's placed in trust, they want to tax it.
They want to tax it. Once that property is in trust, they want to tax it. You see what I'm saying? And again, number 5 is two school of thought. And any way you look at it, because again, when these things, the person who draft these amendments, right, they draft it in such a way that they want to confuse the average person. You know, so you will look at certain things and you scratch your head and say, man, what? You know, or it's ambiguous to you, right? But with this one, any way you slice or dice this cake, my brother, proposition number 5, it's a no. Okay? It's a tax being imposed on people, a property tax. And to that we say no.
But you know, I'm looking as you're going to Proposition 6, I'm going to let you get into that. But it seems to be all part of one big land grab.
Right.
You know, as properties get higher, they tend to know that individuals who are in service or in the service, when I mean service, those who are serving, whether it's in the military, law enforcement, or as you said, those other forms of first responders, generally they know that the pay or the salary may be of a certain level. So this allows them then to sort of get a hold of that property. As you see what we have going on here locally is property values increasing, which means property taxes are going to increase. And when that happens, that allows them the opportunity to come in and take individuals' property. Right.
Now, my brother, look, before I go into proposition number 6, because this here is the meat of the matter. This is where the tire meets the road. This is where the rain falls from the sky. You know what I mean? Can I say something? You know, this is it right here. This is a big boy. Now, look, on my show, The Proven Truth, right? I offer my listening audience, I make a proposal to them. And I'm going to do it here on your show right now for the people of Louisiana, for the people of New Orleans. Okay? We have been talking about this issue for some time now. Okay? And the only people who give us a fight back is these corrupted politicians here in New Orleans, Louisiana. Okay? And when they come to us, they talk from a distance. We want to get the people of Louisiana active and involved, and we choose to put our money where our mouth is. On my show, The Proven Truth, I offer $2,000 US cash dollars Let me count it, my brother. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. No, it's right here.
This is our story first.
This is right. This right here. And let me tell you how this come about. This come about because this proposition that's on the ballot. This come about because the proposition. Now, this is how somebody can claim this $2,000.
Okay.
If you reside in the territory of Louisiana, it doesn't matter if you live here now or you used to live here 10, 15, 20, 40, 50, 60 years ago, and you had a piece of property here. That piece of property which you call your home, your casa, your crib, that place where you go home to after our day's work, that's where you raise your family, that shelter you from the rain. If you own a property either now or then, and you receive a bill, what they call a property tax bill, one of these annual ad valorem property tax bill for that piece of place you call your home. And before you pay that property tax bill, or after June you pay that property tax bill, you receive from this clown, this politician, Harold G. Williams, or any other taxing authority here in the territory of Louisiana, an assessment, a valid assessment. If you receive a valid assessment from this politician, Harold G. Williams, or any other person claiming to be the taxing authority here in Louisiana, before you give them that property, this $2,000, once you can call us and prove it to us and show us that document, this $2,000 is yours. And what we are saying is, for 2 months, for every 2 months that nobody is left unclaimed, we're going to increase it by $500. No, just be clear. What did I say a while ago? I said, if you can prove or if you can show me a valid tax assessment from Harold Criminal G. Williams or any other taxing authority, you can get this $2,000. I'm not speaking of, what that's my brother? What that's it right there?
Notice of assessment.
Notice of assessment. I'm not talking about, I don't know if your audience can see this, something that says a notice of assessment. A notice of assessment and an assessment is two different things. Now, let's go into the meat of the matter. Proposition number 4. Let's read what's actually on the ballot and let me show you what they are trying to do. Number 6. This is the ballot measure as it appears on the ballot. And
this is proposition number 6.
Number 6, right.
Okay.
Do you support an amendment that will require that any reappraisal of the value of residential property by more than 50%, resulting in a corresponding increase in property tax, be phased in over the course of 4 years, during which time no additional reappraisal can occur, and that the decrease in the total ad valorem tax collected as a result of the phase-in assessed valuation be absorbed by the taxing authority and not allocated to the other taxpayers, full stop, or question mark. Now, and what this amendment is trying to do or change is Article 7, Section 18A and F. That's key right there, my brother. What amendment number 6 is trying to amend is the contract. This document right here, the Constitution to Louisiana, the contract. It's trying to amend Article 7, Section 18A and F. Now, once I read the first sentence on this, I know that there was a problem. Now, the truth about it, whether or not, this is the irony we're facing right here with this, whether or not this proposition, if this proposition should even pass in their favor, it still wouldn't be valid, right? But we are telling the people that they need to vote no against it because it's actually a tax increase. That's what it would allocate to, a tax increase. Now, look, let's go to the law, the contract. Article 7, Section 18A, you can see for yourself, my brother, what that word, Assessment.
That's right, assessment.
Assessment. So the first prerequisite, and again, it is dealing with the property taxation, ad valorem taxes. A, assessment, comma. Property subjected to the ad valorem tax. So that's the second prerequisite. So the first prerequisite for there to be taxation, there must be an assessment on the property. You see this? You see where this $2,000 come in? This is where this $2,000 come in, family. For there to be a tax bill in the United States, for Errol G. Williams to send you and his crony friends to send you a tax bill annually and say you need to pay me this money, there must be an assessment, not a goddamn notice of assessment, an assessment. You understand what I'm saying? No. Anybody can show me an assessment, get this $2,000. You can hold on to it if somebody call you and can pay it. We give to them. Look, an assessment. No. What type of property should you be assessing? Listen. Property subjected to the ad valorem taxation. So, not only that you're supposed to have an assessment, it must be a property which is subjected to the ad valorem tax. Right? That piece of property, my brother, and that's what I'm telling you, this is where the trickery, the lies, the deceive, the misinformation comes into we the people. This piece of property, and not only that, you see, the word residential property, these people, man, they draft this amendment to let people believe that here it is, they have any authority or constitutional right to be taxing that piece of property you call your home. That's why they put in this word residential property. If anybody can show me residential property inside this document or in section 18A, a matter of fact, I give them this $2,000 too. RF. Okay, so one, we have two prerequisites that must be met. One, you must have an assessment, right? Two, it must be subjected to the ad valorem tax. Okay, it says also F. It's trying to amend F. When we go to F, this is where the reappraisal part comes in. F, reappraisal, and then what it says? It says all property subjected to taxation. What type of property would be subjected to taxation? A tells us property, that's one, that's being assessed, and two, that's being subjected to the ad valorem tax. You see what I'm talking about? So herein lies the trickery, herein lies the deceive, herein lies the lies. Okay? Now, real quick, just so people can understand. Again, this is the United States of America. We have laws, okay, that govern us. And we elect people into office to abide by these laws. Every single elected official here in Louisiana took an oath to uphold to the Constitution of the United States and of Louisiana. Here is what, my brother, I'll show it to you, right? This is the legal definition for the word ad valorem, okay? They are associating the word ad valorem with tax, okay? In the United States, only two bodies or one body can make laws that govern we the people, and it's the legislative branch, either on the national government or the local government. You see what I'm talking about? Either the federal government or the state government, right? Ad valorem, according to value, this Latin term is used in commerce. In what? Commerce, transaction, in reference to certain duties called ad valorem duties. Tell me when you hear I use the word tax, okay? Mm-hmm. All right. Called ad valorem duties, which are levied on commodities. And what?
Commodities. And
did he say residential property? No. Did he say house?
No.
Okay. Resident and commodities and certain rate per centum and their value. See duty imposed, then what? Act of Congress. Okay? So Congress, the United States Congress, right? Look, we have a constitution. The constitution tells us, direct us, how you can tax people, or how you can tax, or what type of tax can be levied within the United States. Here it is, the United States Congress passed, and not only passed, but define what ad valorem is.
Now let me ask you this then.
Yeah.
Well, from a state standpoint, are you then saying then that it's the state, only the state legislature can then determine how taxes are going to be administered in various parishes or municipalities, and that therefore, this is what I guess what I want to find out. Are you saying therefore that the Orleans Parish Tax Assessor's Office does not that does not fall under their control of their authority?
You know, that's a beautiful question.
Okay.
Let me read this to you, and then you can basically answer your own question. Listen to this. This again is from the contract.
Okay.
Article 7. Listen to this. Power to tax. Okay? Except as otherwise provided by this Constitution, the power of taxation shall be vested in the legislature. Right? Legislature shall never be surrendered, comma, suspended, comma, or contracted away, and shall be exercised for public purpose only. So which body? We have 3 branches of government: the executive, the legislative, and the judicial branch, right? Which branch? The legislative. They are the one who can draft or alter any type of law that have to do with taxes. When it comes to a territorial, like, or a state, and a state level. When it comes to taxes, period, the original authority for tax come from the United States of America, come from the federal government, right? From the Constitution of the United States. Okay? Now, look, I don't want to get into too deep. I'm just trying to make a point, because I don't have much time here on the show to do it.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to show you where the authorities come from.
Now let's make sure the audience is clear. Now, where are you reading from right here? Okay.
Okay. On the ballot, every taxing amendment that's on the ballot right now, right? You can find that section that they are trying to edit in the Constitution, Article 7.
Show that too.
Okay.
The cover once again. Now that's
the cover.
your copy of the Louisiana Constitution.
This is the Louisiana Constitution.
Okay, and you're reading from. Okay.
Reading from the Louisiana. This is, and I call it the contract, because it's actually a contract. It's a contract between we the people and them, politician, government. You see what I'm saying? We draft this document, right, giving them instructions to follow, right? So they must abide by this. They put one hand on the Bible, one hand in the ear, and say, I do solemnly swear to uphold and abide by this document, right? Okay. So this is what, now you can see it for yourself, this is what amendment number 6, right? They are trying to amend. You see, amend Article 7, Section 8A. Section 8A talks about assessment, ad valorem tax assessment.
Okay.
The first thing that must be done before you can even think about taxing somebody or sending somebody a bill is to assess. You must do some type of assessment, okay? Now, from the assessment, it tells you can only assess property subjected to the ad valorem taxation. Okay. So that's two prerequisites right there.
Yeah, because I want our audience to be clear, because we're running out of time now. Can you just, if we can just quick, so you're saying no on
no on 6.
Okay.
No on proposition number 6.
It seems that this 6 is very important
It's
to you.
very important, because look, what they are trying to do, this is a key component. This is what they said. They are saying that any reappraisal of the property, right, shall be over 50% will result in a corresponding increase in property tax. Now, in more than 50%. Now, what more than 50% is? I don't know. Right. More than 50% could be 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%, 100%. It's an increase. It's a tax they are imposing on people, and we are saying no to that.
So no on 6.
No on 6.
Because I'm going to quickly say, so you're saying yes on 1, yes on 2, yes on 3, yes on 4, but no on 5 and 6.
No on 5, no on 6.
Okay, well, give them again now. What? Give us the date now. November 6th.
Okay, well, November 6th. Actually, people can. When was it? Yesterday. Yesterday was early voting.
Okay.
Yesterday was actually early voting. I think is early voting in I think the 30th, don't quote me on that. But,
Okay.
but early voting starts right now, so people can actually go to the ballot right now and start to vote.
Okay.
But the actual date is November 6th, where everybody needs to go to the ballot
Okay.
and make the vice president. And again, look, this constitutional amendment that we have it out there blasting on social media. If
Okay.
anyone need a copy of it, it's on your screen. My telephone number is there, my contact information is there. This is also endorsed by Belden Batiste. He's actually
Okay.
running for Congress, and he's number 16 on the ballot.
Okay.
So
Okay.
people need to be aware. You don't believe that. Look, I'm like a rock star when I'm going to certain places. The amount of hugs and kisses I'm getting. Oh man, we needed something like this. You see what I'm saying? So, people need to know the powers that be ain't speaking about this, my brother.
Okay.
And that's the key. We need to make people be fully aware of what's on the ballot.
All right, well, tell them, make sure they get involved.
Well, look, and again, that's why we are doing what we are doing, family. It is important for the people of Louisiana to send a direct message to these politicians.
Okay.
All they are interested in doing is to tax.
Okay.
We're sorry we don't have such more time on the program, because we can't even mention that. Look, there's a surplus right now in the budget.
Okay.
Right? We have over $400 million right now sitting in the treasury. So why are we choosing to tax people more when we have surplus inside here? See what I'm saying?
Okay.
People need to go out and vote. This is how we vote. This is how we exercise our right. This is how we talk to these politicians and tell them no.
Okay, well, we appreciate it, Brother Anthony, that you was able to stop by this evening.
Man, look, thanks for the opportunity and the chance.
Come on.
Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us.
Come on.
Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun
Facing the rising sun. Come on.
of our new day begun.
It's a new day.
Let us march on
Yeah.
till victory is
Yeah.
won.
Until victory is won. Come on.
Till victory is
This is
won.
victory music. Come on, I hope you feel it.